Welcome, everyone, to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. Once more, I'm your host, Kwesi.
And I'm Adam.
And as always, we have another great episode planned for you here today. Now it may seem like this news is a little bit, on the older end, but that's just because me and Adam were kind of recording this a little bit beforehand, a week beforehand, because we still want to get something out to you guys, but next week we're not going to be able to. So, just to keep on track and keep getting this stuff out to you guys. We're recording a bit earlier, so if the content seems a bit outdated, it's not outdated. Just right now, it's up to date. Like when we're recording
Yeah.
this.
So I just want to mention this is a leak that we got a little bit early that I actually sent Kwesi on Sunday. We've seen a photo in
Sunday of
hand.
last week when this comes out, I'm just letting you guys
Yes,
know.
Sunday of last week. Yes. And I sent the picture of the box of this and the price that was going to be. So we are starting to get some sources from various different companies for our podcast, and we're greatly appreciative of that. But right now, as of yesterday, this is of last week, we're going to put out there that the MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition has been announced and has a price point of $400. And me and Quasi are big Xbox guys, and I have a MetaQuest 3, not the S, but just the 3. And it's pretty nice. I have the 2 as well. Quasi, do you have any VR headsets at all, by the way? I don't think I've ever asked you
I
that.
I do not own any VR headsets.
It's not something I use often. I do want to use it more, but it does offer some fun games and some other features it's pretty nice. I do like it. The Xbox specific one basically comes with a controller. It's 128 gigs of storage, and it does match the Xbox feel. Quasi, do you want to share your screen with us? Actually, let's show them how it looks. That's a little better, actually, if you don't mind.
So,
And while he gets that ready, it's also going to include matching touch controllers that look just like the Xbox. The way they feel and look is nice. Plus, this is the cool thing. It's going to come with 3 months of Meta Horizon Plus and 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which I think both Quasi and me are subscribers to Xbox Game Pass. I love it. I know you don't really own the games, but I don't plan on ever stopping paying for this. So it's nice that you get games like Call of Duty and some other games just for free. It's not free, it's part of the subscription, right? But otherwise, you have to pay $60 to $80 plus for these games, and it's nice to have that. So, what we're seeing with this from the leaks and then what's announced now is some games that are on Xbox are going to be playable on this. So not just with the controllers from the MetaQuest, but also your Xbox controller as well. So it brings a new perspective in playing games. What are your thoughts, Quasi?
you know me. Xbox has been on this ad campaign recently where everything's in Xbox, and good on them. They are actually turning literally everything into an Xbox. We've seen them turn the ROG Ally into an Xbox. We've seen them turn MacBooks and phones and iPads into Xboxes with the Xbox Cloud Gaming app. And now we're seeing them turn a VR headset into an Xbox. So, good on them. I like what they're doing. And, genuinely, I think that this is the way to go. I don't know why PlayStation isn't, kind of investing in making everything a PlayStation. But you know what? I don't own a PlayStation. So, more power to Xbox, I guess.
And see, for me, I had this chat with somebody yesterday. I was a former student worker, and it brought a new light to potentially why they do this. He thinks, this is his quote, that Xbox is realizing that people are not liking their platform and their OS, so this is their way to bring people back. And I thought that was an interesting outlook. There's always been the console war with Xbox versus Sony versus PC, right? And when it comes down to it, it's all about preference. What do you like the most? So, what this is bringing to the table that I like the most is I don't look at it as a defeat from Xbox and they're trying to just bring people back. I look at it as expansion. to not just realize that they are in the game, but to also just bring other ways to play games. Because in today's market and society, you know, I can't just drop the My First Switch 2, for instance, right? Plus the games, the accessories, and everything else. But what if I already had an Xbox and I have games on Steam, right? But maybe my PC can't play some of the current games on Steam that I need to play because of lack of processor or GPU or whatever, right? It updates all the time. So that's the one issue I see with PC. If you buy an Xbox, whatever games are an Xbox, play an Xbox. No question. But for PC, you have to meet the requirements. And most times we all do, right? But as things get better and better and better, it requires more upgrades that we always can't afford. So what if those same games that you bought on Steam that you couldn't play on PC before, now can play on Xbox? That's a great little idea. I love that concept. And I think it's going to be vice versa. So I do believe that there are some rumors right now that they're going to work with Steam and Valve to bring Xbox games to your Valve library as well. That would be fantastic. It's a great partnership that I've been wanting to see for a long time, and it might happen. And what I'll say is Sony, I think, will respond with doing the same thing. They're not in the business beforehand to really collaborate besides with Valve. But if they would just remove exclusives from both sides and just let us play with other platform we want to play on, that'd be fantastic. So, seeing this, by the way, with working with another partner, Meta, that makes these VR headsets, excites me because now we're in a stance where they're broadening their horizons beyond what they're just used to. And that excites me. And they're realizing they don't have to be the only player making the hardware. It could be other third party partners. I'm excited to see that. Any last thoughts to that, Gracie?
One more time.
I'm just excited to see that they're broadening their horizons and not just saying that we can only be the only place making the hardware. Because now they're
Right.
partnering with ASUS and now with Facebook to make their own make different hardware that works with their platforms. So I like that.
That is great on Xbox. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, because you know, a lot of times when you only have one person, e.g. Sony, making that stuff and it's kind of exclusive to their hardware, there's stuff that there's really angles that you can't hit. Like it's sort of like podcasting. If you have two people who always agree on absolutely everything, there's gonna be some angles you don't hit when when you're not bringing anyone on the show constantly, and that's why you gotta have people kind of giving you different perspectives to help you, kind of shake it up. I don't know what that hand motion I just did was, but that was me shaking it up. Um, while on the topic of meta here, recently I came across an ad, and this ad had Patrick Mahomes, J.R. Smith, and Kylian Mbappe, and they were all wearing a pair of Oakley's glasses, right? And then they were going, "Hey Meta, yada yada yada," and Kylian Mbappe, this is the one I remember the most. He was like, "Hey Meta, who's the fastest football player in the world?" And it was like Kylian Mbappe, and I was like, "That's some self glaze," but whatever. Um, so Oakley is apparently gonna have Meta glasses.
It's nice. I'm excited. I seen it too. I saw an ad as well on Facebook, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? What's going on here?" And this came out also after the fact that I got my Ray Bans from Meta too, which I still like. I'm not saying I don't like them, by the way. And these they look awesome. I don't know. What about you? Do you like the way they look? Can we share your screen, Gracie, so we can show the audience really quick?
I mean,
Because
it's
to
pretty much the same thing. I'm not.
it's a different angle. I mean, it's close. It is close, but it's a little different angle. If you scroll down, there's a picture with a female and stuff. You can see some better angles. But I don't know. To me, so I've always been an Oakley guy. My wife does not think that that's something I should wear all the time. She prefers other glasses on me. So, which is why I have the other ones. But trust me, if I had the choice between this one and the ones from Ray-Bans, I would choose this every single time. And I like them. I think it's a great little gap in the market that doesn't offer a lot of these. There are some brands making these that are nice. And I just don't see, even right now, a brand making something that's just fully all there. and this is one step closer, and I like this. I think it's pretty neat. Quasi, if you had the choice between the black or white version, which version would you get?
I'm taking black every day of the week. Black
As long
just
as it's
goes with
not.
more outfits.
Oh, I
Black
agree.
glasses
Yeah,
just look cooler. Like
I agree.
1000%. I see the only reason I would choose white glasses is because I'm wearing an all white fit that day. Like aside from that, I don't see myself wearing white glasses. But a black glasses type of out like a black glasses hold on, wow, I'm butchering this. But black glasses go with everything. You know what I
They
mean?
do
I could be wearing a
everything.
yellow shirt and green pants and the black glasses would still fit, you
It
know?
would, 100%.
So I definitely think black is the way to go here. Go ahead. I'm cutting you off.
No, you're fine. I do not know what the costs of these are. I'm trying to find that. You think they would just like say something like that?
Yeah, you
Uh,
would think that.
I believe. Wow, 48 hours. Never mind. That's charging. Boy, I wish they just say how much they are. Oh, right here, $500.
Yep,
They are
that's the
500
different
bucks in
cost.
July 11th. So that might be about the time the next episode drops. So by that time, they'll be out. Just for reference point, the Meta Ray Bans are 350. The ones I got, and they do start at 329. So this is a higher price point. I mean, you put Oakley on the name, that's going to cost more. But it's interesting because Oakley and Ray Bans are owned by the same company. If you didn't know that, um,
I
Luxottica.
actually didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's this brand, if you did not know, just to go a little bit off topic, that let me find what their name is. I'm very certain it's the same one. Hold up a second here. Luxottica, that is the name. So, for those of you who do not know, Luxottica is a brand that essentially just buys companies that make glasses that are getting pretty popular, and um, their thing is just being the only manufacturer of high end premium glasses, so they can charge whatever they want to charge. I mean, let's just say there's a brand that was charging $100 for a pair of glasses, right? They're going to go exceedingly more than that when they buy the company out. So the same glasses are going to cost $200-300 just because that's what they do. So I'm not saying what they do is bad because they make great products, but the price point could be a little bit cheaper. I mean, 500 bucks for glasses, kind of expensive, but the brand's on it, and we understand why. Okay, so there is that. Um, I like them. I mean, it'd be nice to have some of these, but I have the other ones. I'm not gonna probably get these right now. Um, would you get these, Quasi?
Um, uh, Probably
Probably
not.
not.
I gotta be honest.
Okay, that's
Um,
fine. If you had a
Here's
choice
the
between
reason
the
though.
Ray Bans or these, which one would you pick?
I think I like the design of the Ray-Bans a little bit more.
Okay, makes
But
sense, and they're cheaper
here's the
too.
reason that I'm not gonna purchase either right now. First off, they're $500.
Yeah.
It's not every day that you just pull $500 out the bank account and decide to make a purchase like that. Second, while it fills a very niche area, I just don't have the need for that in my life. When I can, like, if I want to take a video, sure, it's an extra step, but I hit this button right here, and we're taking a video. Wow, that is not a great angle. We're just gonna save that for later. Um, if I need it to tell me what something is, I kind of just hold down on this button right here, visual intelligence, which actually works kind of well. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on visual intelligence today.
Okay, but just
Uh,
know Apple is coming out with their own AR glasses, I believe, next year, according to Mark Gurman. Does that
I'll
excite you at
look
all?
into
Like,
those.
yeah. So I wonder if they're gonna work with a third party to make those. Um, we'll see. I'm not sure. There's very little information. We don't have any leaks much at all about this. When they come out, we'll bring them up. So just so you know, I'm excited to see about those too. I think my wife's waiting for those, by the way, to get those. So I'm excited. So anyway, yes, Ray Bans and Oakley have now Meta glasses. Check them out.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one I'll probably have to talk about a little bit more, and Quasi can as well. But I have iOS 26 beta, and beta 2 dropped. And I will say right off the bat, as we always expect from Apple, the beta 2 makes it a lot more bearable to use the beta because it's kind of the first one is a rough start. There's some lag, there's some performance issues, which they say it will happen. Okay, I'm not dissing
Performance
Apple,
issues.
it just happens, right? But they do make it better each and every time. I will say, in my experience so far, Beta 2 is drastically more fixed for performance, and which they don't really talk about here at all. But I just want to kind of share iOS 26 Beta 2, and Quasi can share your screen. We'll go through this just quickly. It won't take long, I promise, guys.
So this is actually the longest segment, and you definitely just lied to them.
Oh no, I'm not gonna go over like in detail every
Here we go.
possible thing. It's just getting more of the screenshots so they can see it. Okay, so it's 1.73 gigs, kind of big, not too bad. The first thing is if you look at the that screenshot right there, the UI has changed a little bit, so it's not so difficult to read. People say, I guess. I didn't think it was hard.
Here's the thing, though. I really don't know if I like this or not, because the main thing I liked about the beta was that the liquid glass, like when you pulled down from the control center, you could still see everything that was going on the page behind it, and I thought that was like extremely cool. But I guess maybe it could be hard to read depending on what was on the other side of the screen. So I guess the blur makes more sense, but I just feel like the blur's been there for so long that, if there was less blur, that'd be it looks more futuristic to me, is all I'm trying to say.
I will clarify this blur is just a notification center. So if you
This is
go
the
back
control center.
to control center, sorry, the main screen still shows that liquid glass as it was before. So this is just here, just so people know. Um, and I hope that it stays like this. This is not bad for control center. It for me it makes sense. I understand because you're going through basically 3 layers of stuff to see it. So it to me it makes a little bit of sense, and it's not final. They may change it again. Messages, if you scroll down just a little bit, changes a little bit. It's not too bad. I don't think it looks bad at all. I think it looks nice. It's about the same. Just to mention that. It also brings up the live
I'm
radio.
not seeing a difference in messages here, but
Yeah, it's a very slight UI change, if anything. And Apple Music now has live radio widget, so you can add that to your screen. Kind of cool thing. You want to have that. Not too much there.
or are you just
They
waiting for
have
me to scroll?
Yeah. The next one is just they have some more wallpaper for the beta 2. That's okay. If you scroll down to they get to this like dark gray. Like I don't like that dark gray just all over the place like that. Like to me gray is just the worst shade. I don't like it. So it's okay. That's just me.
Okay.
The high contrast mode adds borders to the glass.
Where are you seeing that?
So
Wait, hold on, I'm not.
the very last image right there. So you can see the difference there. I like that. I actually like that a little better. It looks a little better for the eyes, and they did change the way that it is laid out too. So it's nice. So instead of just a black icon, it's just non borders, which makes more sense in my head for what they're doing anyway. Thoughts about that, Quasi, overall?
Um, you know, as for the beta of iOS 26, I think for the most part, I'm gonna take my step back and let you have all the fun because when I downloaded iOS 26, Adam, it wasn't a great day for me. Well, at first it was a great day, It was working
Oh,
like a charm. I was like, "Ooh, this is so cool. I'm so happy I put it on my 15 instead of my 16 in case any issues go wrong."
we have to bring up Quasi.
Mind you, hold on, let me
Oh,
finish.
go ahead.
Mind you, this phone is going back to Verizon within the next,
There we go.
it was supposed to go back within the next 30 days, right? And all of a sudden I don't know if I've shared this, but my screen just turns white and I got the white screen of death. And a simple Google lookup told me that the white screen of death wasn't because I like dropped my phone off a building or anything, which didn't happen. Let me make that clear. It's because of a software issue. And now I,
Okay.
I work in IT, right? I work in informational technology. And for about 3.5 hours, I sat there trying to do everything in my power to get that iOS software. Not even just iOS 26. I was trying to get iOS 18 back on it to no avail, right? So now
Wow.
Verizon's supposed to take this phone back, but here's the thing: they don't know how absolutely cooked this phone is right now. You know what I mean? Um, but the techs at Verizon are supposedly way better than me. I'd be very surprised if they weren't. So we gave it to Verizon, and apparently they credited the entire $820 to my dad's account. Mind you,
That is
$820 is $9 less than what I paid for it. So thank you, Verizon.
wow.
I will always go with you, Verizon. Even if
That's
the entire world goes to T-Mobile, I promise Verizon I'll stay with you. Like you just treated me so well, Verizon. And
I
nothing's ever been your fault. I've always had great coverage. Hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done
okay.
with my Verizon praise yet. And Verizon, like if you want to sponsor me, Verizon, you could ask me to do an ad read, and I wouldn't even charge you at this point. But just for now, though, you gotta get in here early, Verizon. But
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you guys, Verizon. All right, go ahead.
I enjoy them too. I mean, I have the sub company of Verizon Visible, as we all know, and I still love it. It's great, except my watch. I gotta figure that out. It doesn't work at all with this, and it's just been a problem. Any case, speaking of competitors of Verizon, we have a new thing that's been, and I was a beta tester for this actually, if you can believe it, but T-Mobile is now launching the T satellite with Starlink next month. And what that is essentially is cell service using satellites. So it's like a sat phone, but not using a sat phone. And the Apple chipset and some Android phones as well will allow this to work. So what they're working with is a collaboration with SpaceX to launch a cell phone service or to add what they already have to just offer this. So basically, roaming is not a thing anymore. There's no need for local towers. It's all satellite based. And I'm curious to see if this is going to reduce your signal overall because it's a way bigger distance between your phone and the actual satellite, or is it going to reduce the speeds of network? That's my questions because I believe Starlink currently is about 150 to 300 down for speeds. That could change very rapidly in the future when they get more expansion with it. But when you talk about 5G being, gigabit to like 5 gigabit speeds, this is a big difference. But do you sacrifice speeds for network for better overall coverage? I can be in the middle of the ocean, Quasi, and it should work just fine. That's the biggest feature that it offers, I think.
I think I think while that is a great feature, it doesn't matter if you can't like load up anything. Like if I can't send off a text, Adam, and let's say I'm stranded in the middle of the ocean, like you're saying, right? And I call who would I call? The Coast Guard? I think I'll call the Coast Guard, right?
Probably them.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if like it doesn't matter how good the coverage is if at the end of the day when I'm calling the call drops because of how far the satellite is or maybe a cloud moved in the way. You know how upset I'd be if a cloud moved in the way and just cut off my entire cell coverage?
Is that a
Now,
problem
granted,
now?
I don't think well, I don't know if that's a problem now. I don't use the way they advertise the satellite feature is like for people who go hiking and stuff. You'll never catch me alone in the mountains. It's just not gonna happen. That's like I promise you that's just not gonna happen. Like, because to me, that's inviting disaster. And I try to go out of my way to not invite disaster. if that makes sense.
What if you're not alone though? What if you're with like a group of people and like no one has cell coverage?
Then what? Then I know good and dang well we're all about to die. That's the start of a horror movie.
That that
Because
is.
just no, you know what I mean?
Here's a fact that here's just a question for you. So what they're saying is with this cell service, it is at no cost to T-Mobile experience beyond plan. But for everybody else, so this is Verizon customers, AT&T, and so on, it's $10 extra a month. So what you could do is you could pair this with your current subscribe plan with any carrier, and this could be like an eSIM situation where you have this along with it. Now, does that $10 price tag make it worth it to you?
Oh, I don't know. You know.
I'm not saying you have it every month. That's not the point. But like if
I
you're
mean,
going on a
like if I was
trip,
going, yeah, if I was going to like, I almost said Africa, but I don't know if that's gonna be like controversial. But if I'm like going to the mountains and I'm just like, I'll probably be off of the cell towers for a little bit. Yeah, I can see that being a huge benefit and a huge
or
help.
what about
Or
traveling internationally?
yeah, no, I can see that happening too. But typically when I travel internationally, it's to either Canada, which I'm pretty sure my cell servers work there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Does Canada have Verizon? Hold on.
Yeah, they do. I mean, as long as there's no tariffs. um,
No. Verizon is not a Canadian
they.
wireless provider. What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
I
Well,
don't know why my cell service worked over there, but ooh,
interesting.
I might have been
Well,
like using roaming or something and
oh,
charging
might
my
have
dad an
been.
arm and a leg.
Well, I think if nothing else, if you're not an adventurer and go out in the middle of the ocean or in a hiking trail in the mountains somewhere, I think having this even just for travel is nice because I was just talking to someone the other day about data rates for going overseas and like it was like 4 gigs of data per day for like $5 per gig or something, and that seemed excessively expensive. Now, I don't think this is including the option to use data. It's more so just to be able to call and use maybe light data. I don't know. This is more information we'll get in a month when it comes out. But I think this is very nice to see that they're doing this. I know at some point we were supposed to get a service from Starlink offering the same kind of thing with their own service. So I guess one thing that I'm just wondering is why Apple has not done something like this yet. I There was some rumors like three
Apple
years
has not
ago.
what?
Well, there were some rumors that they're working with the same provider they have for their SOS service now. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can't reach anybody you could call or text, and they still offer that for free now. But there was a lot of rumors saying that they already had contracts signed and all this other great stuff where there's just going to be their own cell phone service. There's going to be satellite service for everybody. And that was going to be a very cheap price per month, just like this. So if they can offer this with Starlink for $10 a month, that means that this is a pretty low price point and it might change everything with how you pay for your cell phone bill. Because as we know right now, I mean, what's the average cell phone bill cost for the average consumer? I mean,
I wish I
I
could
would
tell
say
you.
for like two people, it's roughly about $160 a month or something like that. Beyond their taxes, their fees, and then your phone costs if you want to pay it off. So seeing something like $10 a month or even $50 a month is a vastly cheaper option. So I want to see how this works out. And I'm curious to see if Apple is going to do the same because that is where I wonder if they do that if it's considered a monopoly because they own so much of the market share for most things. So this might be too much that they can't really put on their plate right now. But T-Mobile is doing this. I would say in general, T-Mobile service in this area at least is pretty awful. In fact, I helped some in the other day where they had SOS the whole campus. They had no service at all, and I'm not sure what was going on with that at all. But yeah, just know that this is coming next month and for $10 a month, and there's more information coming soon. So let us know in the comments what you think about this. If this is something you might get, you might pair it with what you have now, or you think this is not something I'm ready for yet and just see how it plays out. Let us know, please, in the comments. We want to know your thoughts.
All right,
Okay.
and let me stop you right there. While we're on the topic, of Apple Cellular and well, I guess it was T-Mobile Cellular, but Apple satellite connection towards like T-Mobile. I just want to quickly switch topics. We recently had a leak come out about the Apple, well, of course it's Apple, about the iPhone 17's vapor cooling chamber. If we just want to get a quick little talk about that.
Ugh.
Um,
I'm excited.
well, there's no reason to not be excited, especially because it's going to allow you to charge your phone that much faster. There's going to be marginal increases, but the phone will stay cooler. And I have to say, um, for the first time ever, when I got this phone, all right, I don't know if it's because of how large the phone is, if there's more surface area, but I never feel this thing getting hot, except for when I'm charging it. So
Same.
this is
Well,
this is
yeah.
great for me. And my 15 got hot quite often. And I don't know, again, I don't know if it's a size thing, or I don't know if the cooling in this phone is just better. But I have to say, I do really like cool phones, I'm realizing. Well, somebody's gonna hear that out of context and be like, of course you want a phone that's cool. No, I'm talking about temperature wise. A phone that doesn't get hot is optimal because it's gonna keep your battery alive longer. Your battery health is gonna stay, you know, at max capacity for as long as possible. And then also, your CPU chip will never throttle. And in addition to that, yeah, there's more. It's not gonna burn your hands, which I wouldn't say it burned my hands with the iPhone 15, but like it definitely got toasty.
Oh, you can probably cook an egg with it, at least. Can we show the Majin Buu article that from 95 Mac so you can see what this looks like? It's hard to tell this is vapor cooling, but what's really impressive to me about this is what I understand is this is going to be a drastic cool down up to I think 20 to 30 degrees difference, which is drastically fantastic. So like one time that I know my battery is getting warm and the whole phone is when I do an iCloud restore. And Quasi, if you could believe it, it's a large restore for me. I have a terabyte iPhone and I have about 64 gigs of free space right now. So when I do a restore for iCloud, it's like a day to get it done, even with the fast networks. So for me, having this in there for the next phone that I get will be a vastly better improvement because I can restore my phone and not have it be so high. And heating phones don't work well. It's going to be slower. It's
No,
going to have
don't.
it never does. So what we have to expect is this is going to be a drastic change. It's not liquid cooling. It's like liquid cooling, but not quite there. But it's going to be a better experience for everybody that I'm looking forward to. So that is one thing that's coming out that it's just in the pro models. So just know this is not coming in the base models or the Air. It looks like, just so you know. Um,
Mm.
they couldn't probably fit that in the Air. It's too tiny. It's okay.
The air is gonna be very thin for no reason.
Yeah. Bengate test is gonna be crazy for that phone. I don't know. That's the first thing we're gonna see done the
I don't.
first
I
week.
feel
I
like I
promise
feel
you.
like now with how far technology has advanced, I think it's gonna be stable. I think it's gonna be very sturdy, and I don't think it's gonna bend as much as the iPhone 6 did. I think you could definitely still get it to bend, but I don't think it's gonna like snap in half.
Depends on what they use for the casing, because they're going back to aluminum. They're not using titanium anymore, which I kind of miss that. I already miss it. And I still have it. I just want that back because it was a sturdier case. Um,
Oh, I don't know. I feel like because of how sturdy the case was, the glass on the back, because the titanium is kind of more rigid.
yeah,
So when you were doing drop tests, the back of the glass would get absolutely just shattered because the frame would stay so far in place, and then the glass was absorbing more of the hit. So it's kind of a catch
yeah.
22.
I think it's one of those strange things that we're seeing, but it is what it is. Okay, so on to our last topic. I'm excited for this, Quasi, and this is going to be a longer discussion, I think. Here, maybe not. Um, Officially, Microsoft has updated the Xbox app for Windows PCs to include your Steam library.
Okay, obviously
That
I wouldn't have seen that, but That sounds awesome. Well, I definitely cut you off. My apologies. Go ahead.
No,
Say what you're
no,
gonna do. Yeah.
no, it's fine. But they did this, and this is a leak that's been for like the last 3 months. They've been talking about this, right? With the ROG Ally X, sorry, the Xbox Ally X and Xbox Ally having this as well. So what's nice about this is that we did not know until now is this is not just coming for what's coming soon, it's also coming to current Xboxes. So that's coming soon. We don't have a release date quite yet for that, but we do have information that it's coming. So that to me is a great step forward because this just hit me too. I wonder if this is a direct correlation to what Apple's going through with the Epic Game Store right now, where they're being forced to allow third-party marketplaces on phones, and wonder if Xbox is doing the same, so they don't have any possibility of that backlash. Um, Not quite sure. What are your thoughts, Quasey?
I gotta be honest with you here. I don't think it's like the Xbox is shaking in their boots that the European Union is gonna force them to allow them to use like the Epic Games launcher. I think here Xbox, because you gotta understand, recently, if you look at the moves Xbox has been making, they're all consumer focused.
Yes.
So I don't think that this move is out of line with that. I think everything they're doing is consumer focused. And I think that this move will draw in more consumers. Because let me tell you something, Adam. There's only one PS5 exclusive that I really want to play, and that's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Right? Here's the thing, Adam. Spider-Man's on Steam.
Uncharted though too. Don't forget that.
Never even heard of it. I gotta be honest with you.
You we have to change that. Uncharted is a phenomenal game. It is so good. It's ridiculous. It's like a movie that you're playing basically. Oh, it's so good. Like, were you a fan of National Treasure, the movies?
Never seen them.
What what is it that you do?
You know, I think I've made this kind of clear. I kind of go home and I play NBA 2K25 and I spend a ridiculous amount of money on the game and I cry myself to sleep every night because I'm realizing how much money I'm spending on the game. But, in real life, there's not much that I'm gaining from this, And every time I play 2K, it's like, first off, you gotta realize, I didn't realize that I had to have Game Pass to be able to play online. And so, like, once the Game
Yep,
Pass ran out, I realized I'm really sinking even more money into this game than I originally thought. And
I
maybe it's
see.
time for a change. Maybe I need to play some different games. Like, I don't know. What are some other games out there on Xbox? I could play Call of Duty,
Call of
but
Duty. You can also play Gears of War.
yeah.
Phenomenal game. Oh my gosh, that game's
Ooh,
so
I
good.
lied. There's another PS5 exclusive. I think God of War is a PS5 exclusive, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, okay. Let's back up. So when we say exclusives with Sony, what that basically means is you can't play it on Switch and you can't play it on Xbox. You can on Steam though. They bring it on Steam later on. I love that, by the way. Not every one of them. It comes out much later for most of those things, but like you can play Uncharted and Spider-Man on Steam. So does wait a minute now. This just hit me right now. If you can play Steam games on Xbox, that means that you can play Sony games on Xbox now.
that's what I was saying. Well, I guess that's what I was trying to say before I got distracted by you asking me what I do all day, and I said NBA 2K25, which is really like the worst thing ever. I'm sorry, I'm getting back into that. But you know, I do think that this because I can now play those PlayStation 5 exclusives. Sure, they're coming out a little bit after, but it's the same game. It's the same game I wanted to play.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
I'm fine
Um,
with that.
Most consumer friendly thing I've ever seen in my life. Um,
And that approach, I like it because that means they don't ruin their exclusive. This game is on my console, but they let the people that want to play it on other consoles later on. That's a compromise I'm willing to accept. Okay, if they would do that and let you play those games on Xbox, not just through this Steam integration, I'm talking about natively, and vice versa. Gears of War, and all these other great games for Xbox on um, PS5 and stuff. Now, I mean, Xbox now owns Call of Duty franchise, which is Microsoft. So
Wait,
they're
don't
gonna let
they?
that game
That's
come on.
Activision, right? They own Activision.
Yes. Well, they own the parent company. I think it's Take Two, I believe is how that works. But they're bringing their games over to PS5. Just do the same. I mean, what comes down to it is I don't think it's gonna hurt the sales because people are going to choose what they wanted to play with, and that's just it. And that's fine. I want competition in the market. So if I want to play a game on Xbox and you want to play on PlayStation, great. I just want to play the game. That's all I care about.
Right.
Stop this little war of Xbox versus Sony. It's not needed anymore. Okay, we're having enough problems in this world right now. That's not necessary. Okay, so let's obliterate that. And I hope that Sony responds in a way that makes sense that lets people play their games on other platforms as well. Imagine that this ROG Ally or Xbox Ally lets you play games from Sony as well. They have a launcher, okay? They do. They're putting in their games everywhere. Bring that to other places as well, and let's make one happy family. Because here's the thing, even if they don't sell the console, which they sell at a loss, all of them do, they gain, they make the money on. So if the game is on another platform, it's more possible revenue. That's what they have to understand. And when they get that through their head, they'll make sense of all this and it'll become one big happy family. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see separation anymore. Let's come together as a gamer community, okay? That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So anyway, that being said, it's confirmed. We already know that the Xbox Ally X and Xbox Ally will also include this integration. And it looks like right now it's the battle.net launcher with the Steam launcher as well. So the other ones are coming soon. They're not here yet, but they're going to be the GOG. They're going to have EA Play and some other ones with it as well. So just so you know what's going on there. Um, that's crazy. Are we, Quasi, are we at like the end of the episode, nap of the week already?
Yeah, but like just one more thing before we
Go
end
ahead.
this episode, before we get to app of the week. Do you remember in the WWDC where Apple was like doing everything about F1?
Oh, yes.
I really need to see that movie. Like this isn't even like any advertisement. But genuinely, I think that might be the movie of the year. Which is crazy to say because there's a Superman movie coming out this year, which I'll also be going to see.
Yes.
But dude, this summer's lineup of movies is actually like elite. Like I cannot wait.
I,
So I wanted to say.
I am excited to see that Apple's making TV shows and movies that are actually doing very well. And they're sinking so much money in this. I get that. They want to see this succeed. But like, would you have ever thought that Apple's gonna make a movie that's gonna be in theaters? Right? That's something I was not ever expecting them to do,
Here's the
ever.
thing. Here's the thing. When I went to go see Captain America this earlier this year,
That
I
was
was
not
sitting in the
good.
theater and they put up the ad for F1 and I was like, dude, I don't know what studio's making this movie, but it's awesome. All of a sudden, at the end, Apple TV. What?
Yes.
Apple TV? Oh
I
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah.
Well, they have like another show I'm watching right now called Stick. Very good show. It has some language, just so you guys know. But other than that, it's a good storyline right now, and I like it. So like, they had some shows that are actually really really good. Like for instance, Ted Lasso.
Dude, they're
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, they're doing really good in that space, and I'm just glad to see that.
And the
Now
thing
I
is,
know that
they make
that went up
great
in
content.
price though. It went up in price.
Did it?
It was
I
like
wouldn't know.
$5. Now it's like 10 and $15. But it is what it is. They had to
See,
make their
Adam,
money.
here's what you have to do. You just buy a new phone because they give you 3 months free with every new phone you buy. That's just
Yeah,
buy a new
but
phone.
do they? Isn't that for new people only? So if you've already
No, no, no.
had it, it
Because
doesn't
like
work.
I already had it and they gave me 3 more months.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm trying to let you know, just buy a new phone.
I mean, there's other ways I watch that stuff, but we're not gonna get into that right now.
Yeah, but just like you need to buy a new phone anyway. Your phone's outdated.
Where we are, we heard the story before.
I'm just letting you know.
Verizon screwed me there. As much as they're doing great now with you, they did not do great with something on my iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Mm,
But I will be getting my 17 Pro Max, promise, and we'll have a great day. I
all right.
I don't know if I can wait to do an unboxing on the podcast, but Maybe I will. We'll see. I can't guarantee it, but we're gonna try. We'll try.
All right. Well, it's now time for my personal favorite segment. Adam, what's your app of the week?
My app of the week is AccuWeather, and
One more
the
time.
reason why AccuWeather,
Mm,
um, one thing that I've realized about weather apps is they are almost as money hungry as like the Facebook games that they used to have, like King, what's it called? Candy Crush, for instance, stuff like that.
Candy. I don't
Um,
think Candy Crush is money hungry. I,
okay,
but then
they
again, I didn't really play it, so maybe
for
Adam
like four
will know.
billion dollars a month in revenue because of that game. I mean, come on, they're really incentivizing you to keep going because you run out of lives, whatever, right?
Mm.
It's free to play, but not really at all. It's just not. It's not in cosmetics. It's just you have to keep paying money to play if you can't get it right. That's cash grab. Come on. But in any case, um, when I first downloaded this, and there's so many weather apps, you would probably mostly say, "Well, choose weather.com." Well, it's okay. The interface is okay, but they really, I mean, they just want you to spend $34 a year to have their app. That's too much. That's insane. I know
That
that's
sounds
not
insane.
overall expensive, but at the same time, it's just the weather. I'm not asking it to, be an AI and then send me 3D images of the clouds and the current. Like, I'm not doing all that. I want to know the forecast and so on. So, in any case, um, now they are now charging you to have their ad-free options and stuff like that. But they do some pricings that I like. Like I paid it was like $10 one time to have no ads. And for me in a weather app, no ads is like required because it's
Dude,
like a recipe
Apple
website.
Weather doesn't have any weather apps.
It's so bad though. It's so basic. It doesn't I've never opened it in 26. Let's just see. Live on the podcast. Oh, that's gonna be. I'm gonna dox myself here. I don't want to show where we're at right now. Yeah, I can't show this.
I think the people already know where we're at, but
Yeah, I mean those that know us know, but those that don't, we have people like I'm sure like the cartel watches us because there's some places in Mexico that are known to be cartel places that watch us. I'm not
I
sure
don't
why,
think I
but
don't think they don't like me though. They might not like you, but
oh, they love us. I just don't want them to have more information they already have. That's all.
oh, okay.
Any case, so the weather app, it's okay. It's okay. Like I don't know. To me, it's just too basic. AccuWeather has more information that I like. The radar is great with it too. I have no ads. Now I know that the Apple one has no ads, but I want more information. And for me, it's AccuWeather. What about you, Quasey?
There's that. Adam, indeed, everything is an Xbox. Let me share my screen real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna share this
Are you
window.
sharing it from your
Oh,
phone
I
or?
lied. We're sharing the wrong thing here. No, I'm about to share it from my Mac, and then we're gonna share it from my phone.
Okay.
Or I'm not gonna share my screen from my phone here, but give me a second here, guys. This right here, Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, watch this. Hold on. It's gonna take like half a second here, but let's load up. We're not loading up 2K. Let's load up Batman. I don't have a controller with
You
me
have a
right now.
Oblivion?
Oh, apparently I do have Oblivion. I think
Good
it's on
game.
Game Pass, that's why.
Is it really? Oh, I have to just
Yeah.
download it. I have it on Steam. It's so good.
Dude, the fact that I can
Oblivion.
play this absolutely anywhere, we're gonna get out of this though. This is just for my app of the week segment here. Let's stop sharing here. The fact that I can play my Xbox games on my it's not a laptop, it's MacBook. On my
Yeah.
MacBook, awesome. But here's an even better thing. I can play them all right here. Let's open that exact same game. I know I don't have a controller with me. Thank you. It's gonna do that exact same little thing. Hold on. Batman. You know what I mean? It, this is awesome. Like I love the cloud gaming app. And
I
the thing
I
is,
have it. I have
it
never
like
used it.
you're not logged in. That's why. It
It
used to
do-
be just remote play, where like you can just play as long as your console is connected to the internet, you can just do remote play, and that was fun while it was there. But now the fact that I don't even need to have my console turned on, it's like I don't think you're listening, Adam. I don't think you're. I don't even have to have my Xbox turned on to
That
be
is
able to play now.
fantastic.
It's awesome. It's
That
absolutely awesome. That means somebody else could be playing on my Xbox, and I can still play. And mind you, I'm 800 miles away from home, at least. I think I'm 800 miles away from home. I know I'm at least 800 miles away from home. But that is awesome. And, but that's just my opinion. That's why that's my app of the week this week.
okay. I need to do this more because it looks nice. I mean, I'm trying to get in this app and it sucks.
The Xbox Cloud Gaming app.
Yeah.
It
It,
can
it's
be a bit finicky sometimes.
it's just logging in.
Yeah,
Just
like
logging
some
in.
only
Stop.
with the logging in. Sometimes you gotta like close the app and then reopen it.
Oh my gosh. It should not hit this. Okay, I think I'm in there. I think. I think I am. I don't. Am I in it? Yes, finally. Oh yeah, that's nice. So, just to clarify, I know the answer. I'm just saying this for the audience, I guess. These are games that you not have to install or have installed to play, right?
I don't think so.
I know, like in the past, you used to stream from your Xbox, and now it does
But
not
I think
require
with
that.
cloud gaming you don't need it downloaded. To my knowledge, at least. Like, I could be wrong.
That's
But I don't
pretty
think I have
nice.
Oblivion on the console at home, so I think if I was playing that, it's through
Download
cloud
that.
gaming.
Download that. Oh my. That's probably the best remaster I've ever seen in my entire life. They have, when I say remastered, like everything changed for the better. And I still have to play that game still and finish it, but yeah. Okay. Well, um, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe and give us some feedback if you have any for the podcast. If you like what we're doing, if you think we're not talking about certain things. Quasi had some the other day mention some feedback and some topics we should discuss. And I'm like, great, please put that in Discord. And the reason why I'm asking people to put it there is because it's engagement from not just us, but I want to see if someone says, "Hey, talk about some Nvidia processors, sorry, Nvidia graphics cards, Intel processors and stuff." Well, I want to see if what you mention is also a common topic others want also. So that's why I'm asking stuff in Discord. I want more customer engagement in the sense. So we see some engagement in TikTok, which we're posting more. Quashi's on top of that. And yeah, so please give us feedback there and please join Discord so we can have a little community chat there. So you can get to talk to us and get to know the host, which is actually neat. So other than that, though, thanks so much for the growth. We're so excited to see that. We're trying to work up some new ideas that we're doing, and we have some plans. We'll just say that we can't really talk about that quite yet, but you'll see what our plans are in the future for sure. As we said, next week's episode is going to be right now that we're talking about. So if things are a little bit delayed and behind, that's because we're both really busy next week and out of the state. So we're resuming our normal schedule a week after that. Have a fantastic 4th of July, everybody, and stay safe for sure. And that's really all I have. Thanks so much.
Yeah. And you know, again, guys, I only ask you guys for so much, right? I don't even ask you to finish the episodes. All I ask is that you hit the like button and you
Yes.
subscribe and that you follow me on all my platforms. I know that sounds like a lot, but guys, I promise you, if you really do it, it takes max 2 minutes. And like, if you got to this point, you've already spent at least 50 minutes with us. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it could have been done. That 2 minutes could have been done. What was 50 divided by 2? 25 times now, right? So let's just lock in, guys. Let's get some more engagement. Let's get some more if you want to share it in person, tell your friends. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about this new podcast I've been listening to. Uh one of the
Yeah.
hosts is great, the other host is okay. Now I'm trolling. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I guess until next week.
Yes. And just to note too, It's not too often that you'll see podcast hosts or people on YouTube that actually want to engage with the audience. A lot of times, just know that that's other people doing that for them. We're actually committing to do that ourselves. So even if this blows up to be a podcast where we get like 100,000 views per episode, which that's a goal of ours, it's still gonna be us. We're not gonna have someone do that for us. We might not get through all the comments and stuff, but we want to be the one podcast that does that and is just doing that wholeheartedly for sure. So just know that we're trying to be more engaging and we're trying to have this just be fun for everybody, not just us. So thanks for all the great feedback we have had from people, and we encourage more. Okay, well thanks so much, guys. Until next week, have a fantastic week.
Yep. Have a great week, guys. Bye bye.